The old man moaned from his enclosure of wire fencing and cinder blocks. His bubbles were weeping again. It's running down my shin! He coughed through thick swallows of phlegm, so his voice was wet and submerged. I gathered my supplies fast. Couldn't lose a drop without shame bubbling up so hard I'd have to punish myself again. Bucket, clamps, and a dozen or so discarded IV tubes in my hands, I undid the padlock and met the decrepit man where he was, chained to his gurney by the wrists and abdomen. It ain't reached your shin yet, I huffed. No, but it's about to. You're an old crybaby, I said, smacking his thigh with a clamp. Just another drama-crying, weak old shit. He started to sniffle under the abasement, or maybe it was the sting of the tubes entering his bubble holes. I didn't care, as I had 3 more elders to drain before I could call it a day. It pinches, he cried as the final tube snaked into a bulbous sac under the skin of his groin pouch. During his restrained jostle, the tube drifted from its aim into the bucket and spilled 40 marks worth of grease to the dirt. I slapped the old man's thigh until he wept. Cry baby, I scorned. Cry baby old man, can't do shit except drip and whine. Once I had the clamps wrapped around the bubble and tightened the wing nut 12 or so turns and the grease was sloshing in the bucket, I could finally take a breath. I lit a cig and the old man coughed, but I was done talking. I tapped the bucket with my toe so the particulate grease pulling inside rippled. 3 more buckets to go. You goddamn greases? Asked the slop chef as I clanged the kitchen door open. His right eye stared 40 degrees to the right of wherever his left looked, and he always had that shitty grin like he was laughing at a joke he'd never tell. The fuck you think? I said, gently placing the brimming buckets on his stained stainless steel counter. Old Broad barely had any greasy juices for me to clamp. She's running dry. Oh, yeah? He grinned at me. Gonna have to put her down, likely. Yeah. Ain't worth the cost if she can't get them tumors dripping. Oh, yeah. The chef wasn't paying me any mind, already cranking the hot plate to 8 and setting up the filtration apparatus. A wire colander sieved away the bony particulates of the grease so the juices sifted through into a pan on the hot plate below. From there, it was a simple distillation. The juices boiled, rose as vapes, and congealed down an icy tube to drip into an old Crow bottle. I lit another cig, and the chef's grin dropped. Not in here, he said, holding his breath, passing a cup of water. I tossed the butt in and groaned. You're already gone. Give it 2 years, and we'll be dripping you. Don't care. The greasy juices bubbled on the drip plate, aromatic and golden. God, it smelled good. I liked waiting for the sales girls. I never talked to any of them, but they were a pretty sight for sure. The sun was nearly up and the Crow bottles of fresh elder juices were filled and capped and waiting to be sold. Me and a couple of the other grease drainers, greasy boys, just now done with our shifts, waited for the girls to show. Line up, shouted Bremba, a thick woman cut from stone and fat, ankles folding over the top of her boots. She wore a heat job, though she didn't pray none. She liked how it covered the tumors growing from her neck like overripe cherries. A whistle blew, The double doors from the garage opened, and the girlies skittered out in their frilly skirts and straining blouses. Each of them stole my breath. Never did I see girls so pretty. Bremba clapped a palm to her cellulite in fleshy thunder. Shut up! Shut up! Each gal gets 50 bottles to sell, and if you don't sell them, you better keep them, cause you sure as fuck ain't welcome back here. Line up! The girlies broke into their districts, a couple dozen lines, 6 girls long with a patrol leader up front. Brembo went around passing the crates of frosty Crow bottles. They mostly sold them to rich districts, the one with running toilets still, or hawked them outside rich kiddies' grade schools. A drainy boy near me squawked at the closest pretty thing. Hey there, sweet kiss, you gonna let me have a taste? She smirked, revealing all her pretty baby teeth. All the girlies were the same, curvy bods of womanly bits and an undeveloped infant skull and face. Big blue eyes, bald heads swollen to cover the span of their shoulders, them pouty lips dripping to spit up. God, if I ever got me a bride, I hoped it'd be one of them. Every day we'd wake up together would feel like a miracle. The girlie didn't care none for the drainer's sass. What, you talking about me or the Quo? The Crow, of course. The jabbering idiot elbowed me in the ribs, hawing loud at his own joke. Can I buy one, please? I asked the beauty. Shoot, I'll let you have one, she said, passing me a cold one with a wink. I blushed right there and cracked it open. The distilled elder tumor grease frothed into my molars, swished around my tongue, and dripped swallow by swallow down my gullet. I spoke of the crispness. God damn, that tastes good. The other drainy boy elbowed me again and stole a swig. Then he got all philosophical. Ain't it weird how this stuff tastes the exact same as in the before? How you mean? I asked. Well, it's the exact same thing. They got the bubbles, that sweet syrup flavor. You put an authentic Crow next to this stuff and I couldn't tell the diff, even if I drained the grease myself. I sure as hell could. You can tell the diff? Sure, I said. The greasy Crowa tastes better. I licked my lips. Way better. No way. The drainer was getting red in his bulging face. Is the same. So what? Said the girlie, winking at me again. Ha! That's why it sells so good. You complaining? Yeah, I backed her up. You ain't proud of our hard work? No, it's just... It don't seem weird to you? They never did say what the recipe was in any of them old commercials with them little-headed models all sipping Crowa. Okay. The girlie laughed an infant gurgle. Sure, that's right. Secret ingredient, why, it's always been old-ass tumor boys. God, we solved the mystery, everybody. Now other girlies were laughing cherub laughs too, and the fella soured. Fine, laugh all you want, I ain't care. Bremba clapped thunder out of her cellulite twice more. Stop yelling honking. Get the fuck out and sell us that Crow. The girlies gathered their bottles and left, and I drained the last drops of mine. A little sip straight out of the before, perfect and pure and bubbly and golden. Then I coughed. Out my mouth and into my palm, I spat a shiny crystal of tumor crust. It was yellow like old bone, the shape of a fetal tooth. Lazy slop chef, I grimaced. I tossed the chunklet to the ground and threw the bottle into the used bin at the garage door. thinking of that girlie's winks and cheeky gurgles. For all the trouble, some days this job was a goddamn